This episode has been sponsored by Erica Acosta from Modern Images, located in Harlingen, Texas, at 2305 East Harrison. Erica is a color specialist and Brazilian blowout certified. If you would like to set up an appointment, give her a call at 956 241 1973. Now back to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music and Beyond. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Primitive Minds and Recall Productions. Today, I have a very special guest. She goes by the name Lady Isis. How's it going?
Good, good.
Yeah, I didn't want to say like a witch or anything. I just wanted to just call you by your name.
That's fine. You
Yeah,
could do spiritualist. You could do, I mean, there's a lot of, I say witch just because it's easier.
yeah.
Cool, you know.
But I also don't want to disrespect anybody that's listening and watching, and like maybe they take offense. So I'll just
Yeah, that's
I'll just
okay.
I'll just call you by your name. So,
That's fine.
but one thing I've always wanted to know is because I've met a few of you out there, and one thing that I've always wanted to know is like, do you guys believe in God, or do you believe in God?
Okay, so I just want to get that out there. There's only one me. I'm the original. Just kidding. No, but I don't speak for everyone that does this, so I will speak for myself. I personally believe that there is a God. I also believe there is a goddess. So yes, I do believe in God. I just think differently.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
And same here. Like, people are always making mad, like they're getting mad at me because like I do this or I do that. I'm just like, hey, bro, I'm just doing what I was put here to do. Like
Right,
nobody,
right,
nobody understands the walk.
right.
And what got you into witchcraft?
Well, I've always had gifts. So since I was a kid, I saw or I dealt with the supernatural. So mostly it was spirits, the spirit world. And growing up, that just was normal for me. And then when I was like 19, I don't know how I came about looking at tarot cards. And I bought some. I bought myself a deck and I was like, well, I want to try it out. Let's see. And I tried it on some friends and I read their cards to them and they were like, wow, like, those things that I didn't know about that would come up. And so the rest is kind of history. I started doing it a little here and there because I was scared of it myself.
Yeah.
And then I'd say about 5, maybe 6 years ago, I I decided to take it up full time, and so I said ever since then I've been doing it full time. But I've been doing the actual card readings for about let's see, about 22 years, going on 22 years.
Damn.
Hmm.
And now I'm sure there's like virtual spirit card reading, right?
Right now in this COVID time, yeah, it's not virtual, it's over the phone. So I do it over the phone.
Is there any way that people could contact you and you know?
Absolutely. They can call me or inbox me on my page, which is Isis Hendricks. I also have a Facebook page that's called Lady Isis. I'm sorry, it's called Tarot Card Readings by Lady Isis.
Oh,
Um, and they can like the page. I do go on there and do live videos sometimes where I do one question per person for free. So, and that's a live video. So I'll be on live with people on Facebook that are on that page, and anybody's welcome to come in and ask me a question.
that's awesome. I hope you guys
Hmm.
check it out because I've been in a few of those. I've never asked anything because like I just like the element of surprise, but you know, everybody should totally go check that out. Check out her page too. And is are all witches evil, or is there good witches and there's bad witches? And
Well, again, I don't speak for everyone. I myself have I guess figured out that there's really no good or bad. Um, I guess I would be considered a good witch because I help people. I don't like to do things to harm anyone. I don't put hexes on people. I don't do purses. I don't do all that stuff. What I do is my specialty is removing the bad. So let's say someone did something to you. Um, I get paid to take it off and to protect you and to bring things back to your life. But there's really no good or bad, because the truth is that the universe, nature, everything has a good and bad side. There has to be a balance. So I'm sure everybody has seen the yin yang. You know how the black part, it's a black part and a white part, and they both have a little dot of the opposite color. That is representing balance in everything. So there's no real, or I'm all good and I'm all bad. Sometimes bad things happen in a reversal. For example, like I said, I take things off of your stuff. So let's say, for example, somebody did a curse on you and I'm removing it. I'm leaving it to the universe to do whatever they want. But then, let's say, for example, something happens to the person that did it to you. Well, that's bad, and that's going to be bad to them. But this is where most people will reference karma.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
karma is the reference to keeping things in balance. So good and bad have to be in balance so that everything is in harmony. So there's really no good or bad, but there's people, I guess if you were to say that, like there's people like me that take off everything, that remove the negative, and
yeah,
there's people that put it on, and they would be the bad ones because they're putting it on you, depending on whatever they're. But everybody reasons it. Everybody does everything with reasons. So, let's say you come to me, you say, you know what, this girl broke up with me and she hurt me and blah blah blah, and I just want to, I want her to remember or to how do you say, to feel what I'm feeling. So
yeah,
the witch is kind of doing it to help you to feel better, but it's really not doing you good. It's doing
yeah,
something harmful to someone else.
yeah,
But
exactly.
they're reasoning it, oh, I'm protecting you or I'm helping you out, but it's not really helping you out. You're just doing something to somebody else.
Yeah, it's like I'm helping you, but I'm hurting her, or
Right.
that's
So, and
that
that's not
sucks.
cool.
That sucks. And like karma, like
Hmm.
karma is more of something that happens, right? Or
Karma.
or
Mm,
can it be like some sort of something that's out there that just kind of looks over like the earth, I guess. I don't know.
I guess karma is more of an energy. I think it's not really like an entity
Oh,
that goes out there and says, "Hey, you did this." No, like I said, it's more of an energy that balances things out. We need balance in our energies, in our vibrations, in our whatever. And like for example, right now with COVID, if you've noticed, there's a lot more violence. It seems like there's a lot more violence going on. People are
oh,
just going nuts. It's because there's no balance. We've been locked up too much. We're pent up like caged
yeah,
animals, and we're not used to that. We're social beings, and so what happens is we get angry quicker. We're stressed out. We're frustrated. So what's happening is the karma is coming in that sense, where people are going out and doing messed up things, and it's because karma's trying to balance it out. We're in a lot of negativity right now. We need to get
yeah.
a lot more good stuff. That's how I see it. My
That
opinion, of
I
course.
I mean, you just hit the ball. You just hit it right there, because like I've been thinking about that. Like sometimes I just kind of sit, like I don't meditate or anything, but I do like kind of like close my eyes a little bit, and I start to picture like stuff that I've seen on the news, and then kind of think about how life was like a year ago, and like how everything could have just been different if something else happened. But
Right.
like I'm learning, I guess. And you know like I love that you came on here tonight, and talk to us about what you're talking to us about, because like me, like not everybody knows.
Right. And that's why I don't mind doing interviews, because witchcraft has a very negative, I guess, respect. It's got a very negative a connotation to it. So when people hear, "Oh, you're a witch," it's like you said, "Oh my God, I'm scared." Well, don't be scared because not all witches are bad. Not all people are bad. It's just that it's how we decide. It's our choices that we make in our life that makes us good or bad. But even then, sometimes our choices are bad, and that doesn't make us a bad person. That just made it we made a bad choice.
Yeah.
um Everything in life, and I want to say this, everything in life, everyone has their own perspective. It's always going to be about perspective. Your perspective is going to be different from mine. Excuse me. So like in that example I told you, oh well, she hurt me and she did this. Well, your perspective, I'm hurt and I want her to pay. The witch's perspective is, oh, I'm going to get paid and I'm going to help this person. And the girl's perspective is, I just broke up with him because I don't know, he was a jerk to me,
Yeah.
or I don't like him anymore. And she wasn't meaning you harm, but it hurt you. So all those three perspectives in that one situation are completely different. And so we have to remember that everybody's perspective is completely different from our own. And I think that's another reason people act the way they do, because, well, you can't tell me what to do. I don't want to wear this mask, and I get that. I have anxieties and I have, all kinds of issues as well. So,
Yes.
but I wear it because I don't want to get sick. I
Yeah.
don't want to get that, or let's say I don't, if I'm sick, I don't want to get somebody else sick. I'm not a bad person. That's not what my intention is. But those people who do not want to wear them, they're not bad people. They just don't feel like this is real, or they don't feel like they're going to get sick, or they don't feel like, and it's not because they're bad people. They're just making bad choices because they feel like somebody's forcing this on them without reason. And so we can't be mad, but with this, and I'm not going to get into politics a whole lot, but with the election, with COVID, with being in a lockdown, with not being able to go out and drink and do our usual things, people have gotten a little bit more unreasonable, and that is not because they're bad people. And what's happening is, like with Facebook and social media, everybody's attacking each other, and we're forgetting that, hey, voting is
Responsibility.
our responsibility, our right. And we don't have to tell you who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
I don't have to like your candidate. I don't have to like their morals, but I also don't have to talk shit. So I'm sorry. I don't know if if I'm allowed to cuss.
No, you're allowed to. You're allowed to.
But for me, it's like, just because you are a supporter of and I don't ever tell anybody who I do not support. Um, just because you don't support what I'm thinking or what I want you to, does not make you not my friend. That
Exactly.
just means you don't agree with me, and that should be okay. But again, everybody's so pent up and angry and frustrated, and right now they're blaming. It's kind of like when you go to McDonald's. Who do you yell at? Do you yell at the worker who made you the food, the worker that served you the food, or do you go to the manager and say, hey, you know what, your people, well, you're going to go straight to the top, because that's what we do. Why? Because the manager's the one in charge. So
Yeah.
right now everybody's on this Trump thing. And why? Because he's the man in charge. No matter how we see him, whether we like him or not, he's the man in charge. So he's the one we're looking to for answers and for taking responsibility, and he's not. So that makes us even more angry because we have no control.
Yeah.
So that's where all this pent up anger comes from everybody. And we're doing it all wrong. We're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went to a whole little rant there. But anyways,
Yeah.
moving
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think everybody should just kind of get in touch with the spiritual side, I guess. Like, there's so much, we have so much time for that.
Yeah, we don't really, because we're on this earth one day and then the next we're gone.
Yeah.
And what did you accomplish by being angry? What do you accomplish? Nothing.
Yeah.
You're spreading hate where there just shouldn't be. You should spread love, because love is better.
Yeah.
It's easier to love than to hate, because when you hate, you take all kinds of energy. It takes, for me to get angry and stay angry, let me tell you something. I have had a rage with one person in the last 2 or 3, well, probably 20, 30 years. And to hate this person, when I get into that mad rage about this, I'm so tired after that. It's no wonder we're all exhausted. Everybody's hating.
Yeah.
But I can love everybody. I love you. I love everybody I talk to. I'm very like, I'm all about that. Come talk to me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
figure this out.
when I saw you at that Dorothy show a few years ago, Like I got super excited. I was like, holy crap! Like it's Lady Isis. Like give me a hug, let me buy you a beer or something like that.
You're so sweet. Yeah. But that's who I am because I feel like that's easier. I'm not going to hate anybody. What for? What
Yeah,
for?
but
Their actions are their actions.
yeah, but that's awesome. And is is witchcraft evil, or is there like a good side of witchcraft?
Well, I think kind of falls in the same thing.
Oh, you think?
Finding balance in it.
Yeah.
It can be good, it can be very good, and it can be very bad. The only thing that I tell people is you can think bad or good of it, but understand it exists.
Oh
And
yeah.
whether you believe in it or not, it's kind of like they say, whether you believe in the devil or not, the devil believes in you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's the same thing with witchcraft. Whether you believe in it or not, somebody believes in it enough for both of you, and it will work.
Yeah. That makes
So,
a lot of sense.
yeah, I do know a little bit about the Bible. So it's not like I'm just kind of talking out of my ass. Like, honestly, I've gotten a lot of crap over the years for wearing pentacles and wearing things like that. And I just, I always tell people, like, there's a lot of things in the Bible that don't make sense. And you don't follow the Bible to the letter anymore because we don't stone people anymore. We don't marry off our kids at, whatever age we want. We don't trade them for livestock. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that have changed. You know what? Maybe you should change with that. You can't pick and choose what you're going to believe out of the Bible because that's not fair.
Yeah.
So,
That makes sense. Like, I mean, like I believe in God and all that stuff, but sometimes I just kind of like, you know what? I'm just gonna believe in right now.
mhm.
You know. And when you started, with your whole like spiritual side and witchcraft and all that, did you lose any friends or like family members that just kind of, like, oh, she's doing this, like she's a weirdo, or you know, like were you ever called names or anything because of what you do?
I kind of have a trifecta here. So, um, with witchcraft, no, I didn't. My mom had a cow. My mom was like, I didn't raise you to be that way. And unfortunately, I mean, unfortunately, my mom has actually come around, and she'll, she won't let me do anything like to her or with her, or, she'll be like, I don't want you reading my cards because you know my life, blah, blah, blah. I really don't know her life as much as she claims I do. But and that's okay. I respect that. I have never lost friends because of this.
Oh, okay.
Not in that sense, no. I surround myself with people who are pretty positive and who try to be as open-minded as possible.
Mhm.
um it's kind of like when I finally, I'm bisexual too, so it's like my mom didn't like it, but she accepted me anyway. So I've been very lucky and very blessed to be accepted in my circle of family and friends. There's certain family and friends I really don't care about. The ones that matter to me are the ones that, that I care their opinion. They're the ones who accepted me whether they liked it or not, which was my mom, my family, my immediate family, and a few friends here and there.
Yeah.
I'm not in the habit of really putting much stock into just any Tom, Dick, or Mary that comes along because their opinions don't matter. You
Yeah.
know, when you start caring about what everybody thinks, you're never gonna get done. You will never get done. You're not gonna please everybody.
True.
So when I sense that people are not comfortable with this part of me, the witchy part of me, I'm okay with that. That's your opinion. I'm not here to force it on you. I'm not Catholic. but
Damn.
but but I'm not here to have it shoved down my throat either. So I respect your decisions, I respect your religion, I respect your beliefs, I really do. And that's okay. Again, it's kind of like with politics. Your thoughts and your beliefs are yours.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't have to agree, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends.
True.
So on my part, I've never lost anybody like that just because I practice witchcraft or whatever. And I don't think anybody's actually stopped talking to me because of it either. They may have, I really don't know. But people come and go, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. definitely. And I mean, you touched on a lot of stuff there, which it's true. Like man, sorry, I'm kind of mind blown right now.
Ah, you're good.
Oh man, and can anyone be a witch?
Um, from what I understand, yes, you can learn the craft. I believe that we are all born with gifts, but some of us tend to lose them as we get older. And that comes in with your religious stuff, with your parents, how they taught you, if they taught you anything, stuff like that. I don't know how I ended up with this stuff. Trust me, I have no clue. But but I know it runs in families. So I'm a natural, what they call a natural born witch.
Yeah,
But you do have people that learn it because it interests them and they can't find their place in
in life.
whatever religion,
Oh, okay.
yeah, in their life, in whatever religion look. The bottom line is people, and if the masses hear me say this, that's even better. All you need is faith. I don't care what you believe in. You can believe in the rocks outside. If you have faith, that faith will move mountains. And
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you believe in, because faith is what's going to get you through the next day. And that's the most important thing that you have to learn. If you learn anything in this lifetime, just have faith. It's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We as people, there's a lot of good people out there. We're not all evil. There's a lot of great people out there. And I'm here. And trust me, all the things that I've been through, I probably shouldn't be. But there's a reason for it. So
that's amazing. And can you do magic?
magic, like in the movies.
No, like or like maybe not the movies. Hmm, that's a good. I'm questioning that question now.
Well, magic is again all about perspective. So if you ever watch Charmed,
Uh-huh.
Charmed is a perfect example. In Charmed, they have active powers.
Okay.
So telekinesis, stuff like that. I cannot. I cannot do that stuff. I'm sure I could do magic tricks if I learned them, but those are tricks.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as like, and the reason I reference movies because people see you doing the cauldron stuff and it gets all smoky and it comes out. That stuff
Yeah,
does happen, but it's not the same thing.
yeah,
That's Hollywood magic.
like honestly, the only witch movies that I remember is Bewitched and Hocus
Okay.
Pocus. Um,
Okay.
and the only
Yeah, it's not like that.
and
No.
the only part
Um,
I remember in Hocus Pocus is when the main one is like book and then the book just comes or
yeah, no, we don't do that. That's Hollywood magic, honey. But I do have gifts such as there's been I can sometimes communicate with spirit.
oh nice.
I'm also what they call an empath. So an empath is someone who feels other people's emotions, can heal them. Sometimes I can control I've heard this a lot. When they come around me and we're doing our sessions with the readings and stuff, they're like, man, I feel better. They come in real anxious.
Uh-huh.
And then after a while, they start to calm down. And then they're like, wow, I feel so great and stuff. So that's me taking off the bad stuff
Oh yeah.
and giving them my good energy. And I always tell them it's gonna last you about an hour after you leave, and then you're probably gonna go back to some of your anxieties, but it won't be as bad as it was before. So I tend to be what they call an empath. I've heard and seen people's thoughts. I have taken people's headaches and aches and pains with just a hug.
Mm,
So it's just really random stuff. My gifts are very random and wide ranged. Some people have the gift of clairvoyance. They can see the future before it happens, stuff like that. Um, so it just depends on the person. All people with gifts are different, but
yeah.
that's the kind of magic that I talk about. That's the kind of stuff. To me, that's magical because I get to deal with another world,
Yeah.
the supernatural world where other people can't or don't. I shouldn't say can't because I think everybody has the ability to. They just don't. But yeah. So I mean, and remember, we're only using what 10% of our brain.
Probably yeah.
Can you imagine what's in the rest of that? So those are the magic gifts that we all have that we don't tap into.
Yeah.
And for some reason, some of us, like myself, we can tap into it every once in a while and utilize it.
I,
So,
I think the problem with that nowadays, like, we're too distracted with, phones and, computers and televisions and all that stuff, that we're not really able to kind of communicate with ourselves, our brains, and even like outside, because we're always looking down at the phone, and we're not, like, actually experiencing the earth and the air and the sky and the grass,
yeah.
and just getting that energy, because
Well, not only that, there's been so much human interaction with our Earth that it's not the same anymore. The Earth itself has changed.
oh, true, true.
So the Earth is not what it was 100 years ago, or 500 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, or even 30 years ago. With
Yeah.
all the chemicals that we put into this earth, like, it's no wonder we're not in the same. People used to have to connect with the earth. Pagans used to have to connect with the earth to make growth happen and harvest and all that stuff, which
Oh,
is where a lot of our holidays come from.
yeah.
And people don't realize that Christianity came in and kind of covered that up and made it that way, so that way people would follow them. Remember, a lot of the stuff that we believe today is from old traditions that were covered up because somebody along the line got smart and said, "Hey, we need to control these people, and the only way we can do it is because their religion is wrong. It's not something that we believe in or know about, and so let's go ahead and make them believe this, and then make that stuff bad so that they follow the crowd."
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's pretty crazy too, in my opinion.
Well, it is what it is. The Bible isn't complete. If you look back in history, Constantine, I think it was the third Constantine, burned a lot of books out of the Bible because he felt that they were not important. So there's a lot of knowledge that's gone there too.
Yeah.
How do we know what was in those books? How do we know it didn't have magic in it? How do we know? How do we know that the Bible, which was passed down from generation to, those stories were passed down from generation to generation for centuries, all of a sudden became written and were translated.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you know how true that is? Have you ever played post office? Do you
No.
remember when you were a kid, you never played post office? Okay, so post office is a game for little kids, and what they do is they'd say one sentence to one person, and then they'd pass it along from kid to kid.
Oh, wait, is it the one
and
that
then
it changes here and there?
and
Like,
then at the end of the line, they repeat what was said, and it's a completely different sentence.
yeah, you know what? I've never played it, but everybody tells me that they played it. I guess
Right.
I guess I had a sad childhood because I never played it.
Oh, excuse me. Um, and that's in the span of what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
How can you say that the Bible that was written centuries after these stories happened and recount it over and over and over from generation to generation? How do we know that's really what was said? That's really what happened?
Yeah.
No, because in the span of 5 minutes with 5 kids or 10 kids or even 3 kids, that one sentence went completely different. How do you know thousands of years of history didn't go completely different?
That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
So for me, when people ask me about, oh well, don't you know that Satan, and I don't. First of all, I don't believe in Satan. Demons do exist. I'll tell you that. I've dealt with them. Demons exist. Entities exist. All that exists. Okay, but I don't believe in the heaven and hell type of situation that the Bible depicts. I do believe it exists, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that people need to question it a little bit more. So when people tell me about, oh well, do you know the Bible says this? Well, I get that, and I like the Bible. The Bible is actually a great book of stories and histories, because I do believe some of that stuff did happen.
Honestly,
It's a good guide. It's a good guide.
yeah.
But and it was also created to keep chaos from happening, which we need as people. We need, because we're a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, honestly,
So
like what I've been told is, like, when I was going to church and stuff, like, somebody asked me, like, "Hey, you know what the Bible stands for?" I'm like, "No," and then they told me, like, basic information before leaving Earth, and I'm like, "Huh, that's cool, I guess." Like,
I've never heard that, but that's kind of what I'm saying too.
yeah, yeah,
Like, it's the same thing. You understand that, the Bible the Ten Commandments were created to help these people to settle down and not be so erratic and chaotic.
Yeah.
And so, there's no way of telling how old these stories are, how true they are. They're great stories, though. It's a great book if you read it. But I just don't, I'm like, I can't sit here and say, oh, I'm going to put my stock into all this into this Bible, because first of all, it's centuries years old. We
Yeah.
no longer follow those rules. So if I steal from you as my neighbor, and you're not allowed to stone me, because man's law now says you can't do that, because
Yeah.
it's called a manslaughter or assault. Well, but you want to follow the Bible, and the Bible says I can be stoned. I can do that. So you're saying man's law is above God's law? But with your own logic, God's law is above man's law? So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like people making things at me because I have gifts and I'm a witch and I practice, and they say, oh my God, you're evil. Wait a minute, but doesn't your Bible say that we're all created in his image? We're
Yeah.
all God's children. So if God, by your logic, if God created me, then that means he didn't make a mistake, because you say he doesn't make mistakes. He's omnipotent. So that means that I was created with these gifts. How does that make me evil if God created me like he created you?
Yeah. And honestly, you're like one of the nicest persons I've ever met in my life. Like, know,
I try.
I could literally go. I could literally go to your area right now and be like, "Hey, lady, like, let's go out and have some dinner or something." And you'll be like, "Hey, like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's go hang out."
Heck yeah. Yeah.
uh, and man, that's crazy though. And yeah, like when I read the Bible, like sometimes I just like I like to read Revelation because with how crazy life is nowadays, like it kind of seems like
Hmm.
we're living in the end of times, even though they've said that for centuries and all that stuff. Like, oh, this is the end of times, and we're still here. But
Right.
but I mean, like we're living the way that we're living now is kind of like a little bit too crazy, and I'm just like, man, like what, like let me go check this out to see if like it says something about a sickness or something, which I'm sure it does.
Yeah. I don't know, but I just don't like, I haven't read the Bible in a long time, I'll be really honest.
Yeah, I have a book that I bought from my friend. I still haven't read it. I still need to. It's like 100 pages long, but that's a different story. And do you prefer to do your spiritual work alone or with others or both?
I prefer alone.
Alone?
Yeah. I don't mind working with others. They have what they call covens,
Hmm.
which are usually it's a group of witches that work together. But I get afraid of those because it's really close to a cult.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm not trying to go into a cult. And I don't like to be told what to do. I'm very like, don't tell me what to do.
yeah.
So I work alone best. So yeah. So alone.
That's cool. And are there certain deities or culture? Damn, I can't even say that. You resonate with?
Yeah. So Isis comes from the Egyptian goddess Isis.
Oh, okay.
And so I love everything about Egypt. I think that in a past life I probably was an Egyptian high priestess. But I actually am what they call an eclectic witch. So I utilize different cultures in my witchcraft to help me do what I need to do. But Isis is my goddess. She's the one who I identified with the most.
Hmm.
And so that's why I'm Lady Isis.
That's crazy. You know what? I've always wanted to ask you that, like when I met you, but I'm just like, nah, maybe like Isis is like her middle name or last name
No.
or her first. Yeah, like I'm just like, oh man, like I'll ask her. I'll
Mm,
ask her one day because I know Lady's probably not her name. But
no, no. The
like,
Isis is from the Egyptian goddess, and she's my goddess. So
that
I accepted her as that, and I used her name.
that's amazing. What are your long-term spiritual goals?
Long-term spiritual goals.
Yes.
I really don't have any. I kind of live day by day because every day is so different. And I'd like to think that, honestly, I like to think that I help people. And my goal is to be a good, positive influence in their life. And if I can make somebody smile at least once in a day, I've done my job. I don't have any long-term goals. I'm just trying to make it through this life like everybody else.
Yeah,
And I deal with two different worlds, so it makes my life a little bit more difficult.
yeah,
But I believe that I was made to do this, and I was brought into this world to do this. So I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, and that's it. And anything that comes along with that, it's either a lesson or a blessing,
yeah, definitely.
So hopefully I get more blessings than lessons.
Do you believe in the afterlife?
I do. I do. I believe we have the option to come back. Have you ever seen that movie, What Dreams May Come?
No, no.
Okay, you should watch it. It's a Robin Williams movie. It's an excellent film. And I think that is the best interpretation of what I believe our afterlife will be like.
Oh, nice.
Check it out.
I'll have to check it out. And
What Dreams May Come.
where dreams may come.
Yeah.
I'll ask my
It's a
I'll
little
ask my
sad.
I'll ask my best friend to see if she's heard of it because like me and her talk about we talk a lot about that stuff.
Hmm.
And is there anything that you would like to tell the listeners and the viewers that maybe I didn't ask you, or something that we should all just know in general about you or your
About me, I'm always willing to help. Yes, I do charge for my services because I am doing this full time and I have bills to pay like everybody else. But I'm here to help. I'm here to, even if you just need somebody to listen to you rant, I'm here to help. There's a lot of good people out there. I'm also very involved with the community as far as when people need like blankets or food and stuff. If I have whatever I have, I'm willing to share it. I don't have much, but I know what it's like. I understand people more than they know, and I can relate to a lot. Um, I want you guys to know that there's always going to be somebody here to listen. Um, and no matter what the situation is in my life, I will always drop it for the underdog. I'll always drop it for somebody who needs a helping hand. Sorry, and there's good people out there, and if we just one person at a time shows a little bit of love to somebody that might need it, or you may not even understand or realize that people are going through something really tough. And if you just do something good for one person, we can spread love by one person at a time. We don't have to do this, in a community. Nobody has to know. No, I don't tell people when I feed the homeless guy down the street or when I get them water, or I don't need them to know that. I know it. And I know I did something good for somebody. The most important thing is you do your part. And I tell everybody this, you'll hear me say this all the time. Do your part. So if I offer you a glass of water and you say no thank you, I did my part. I offered you the glass of water. You declined it. That's on you. Whatever happens after that, if you get parched, if you die of thirst, it's not because I didn't do my part. I gave you the option. That's all we can do is do our part. Doesn't matter what they do with it. If you need money and you say, hey, you know what, Isis, I need $100, and I tell you, well, I have 50, and you say, no, I want the whole 100. Okay, well, I have 50.
the
And then if you say, no, it's okay, I'll find the 100 somewhere else. Okay, well, I did my part. You
yeah
could have had the 50, and then you're getting 50. You just need 50 more. You could
yeah
have gotten that from anybody else. But I'm doing my part. And I think that that's the most important thing we need to understand, is that we need to help each other as a community, as humanity. We're human beings. I don't care if I'm dirty and I'm whatever, or if you're filthy, or you're fat, or I'm skinny, or I'm fat and you're too tall, or it doesn't matter. You're still a human being. You still need some compassion.
and honestly like a few weeks ago me and my mom loved to go to Taco Palenque for breakfast, and we saw this guy just laying down there like he had a bike and stuff, and
Hmm.
he looked like he needed something to eat, and no, he needed something to drink because he was eating something. And I could have been that guy that like, oh, I'm here, at Taco Palenque, blah blah blah. Like, we're here on YouTube, and then like made that video of me buying him something to drink. But I was like, you know what, that guy up there, he's looking down and he knows that I did it. So like I went
Yeah.
to the counter and I'm like, hey, can I get a large Coke? And I gave it to him. I'm just like, thanks, man. Like, have a good day. Like, like God bless you, whatever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't
And
have to like record it or anything because I knew that in my heart, it was real.
I I actually got denied. This guy was standing outside of one of the stripes that I went to on my way out of town. And I was like, man, and he looked hungry. He really did. And it was hot outside. So I went inside. I was going to get gas and I went inside to pay. And I decided to get him a chicken plate.
Oh
You know,
no.
the baked chicken, those are freaking amazing. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I got that. And then I got a tall bottle of water. And I said, here, sir, if you're hungry, you can have this. I just bought it. I didn't open it or nothing. And he said, no. I was like, well, I guess I have lunch then. So I ate it. But it
Wow.
was just like, wow, like, so it's not everybody, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, I just didn't know. And I was trying to do something nice and, they denied it. So, okay, well, I did my part. What he did with it, none of my business. It's
Yeah.
like or when people say, I hate this. When people go on Facebook, like, I have this bag of clothes free to anybody, but not resellers. Well,
Mm.
you're offering it for free. Why not a reseller? And they're like, well, it's because it's for somebody who really needs it. And I'm like, well, maybe the reseller needs that money, and they're going to make money off of that. So you giving the clothes away, do your shit, do your part, give them the fucking clothes. I'm sorry, give them the clothes.
Ah, you can.
And then, what they do with it is their business. It's not your business anymore. You gave a shit away. I can't stand that. So I don't deal with people like that too much. But, when I give things away, here, sell it, keep it, take what you want. I don't care. Just take it because I don't want it anymore. If I don't want it anymore, then I just need to get rid of it and get rid of it.
Yeah.
But I can't stand that. Like, it's like you want to give it away, but you want to put rules on it. And that's not what we're supposed to do. Do what you're going to do. Let them handle the rest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was amazing. Like, thank you so much for taking some time and talking to me because like I've always been interested in you as a person, like and what you do, and just having you here tonight is just
Not scary.
I mean I was a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie, like I was over here like, oh, help me out.
But you're not scared anymore.
I'm not like honestly, like you're my friend, like like,
Yeah. I get that a lot. When people call me for readings the first time, they're like, I'm so scared. And I'm like, there's nothing to be scared of. I'm not going to tell you when you're going to die because guess what? I'm not God.
yeah,
I don't have that power. I'm just a messenger. I'm here to guide you as to what your path is right now. Oh, another thing. Whenever we do card readings, and I want this to be said because I get this a lot too. Card readings are based on the moment in that moment that you're reading the cards. So if I'm telling you, oh, just be careful for the next month because I feel like there's an accident waiting to happen, and blah 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 blah, and then that is my me telling you or guiding you to be careful. That means that accident may not happen because you make a different choice,
that makes sense.
and so it changes the outcome. This is why we exist. We don't exist to tell you we're going to die. I have a client that came to me, oh, it's been about 10 years, and she was in tears because another witch had told her she was going to die the next week and she needed $900 to make her for her not to die. And I was like, that's not true. That's not true.
What?
Yes, there's this thing and there's that thing, but you're not going to die. You can still prevent it. So these are not set in stone. These are just at this moment because tomorrow you can make a choice that'll change the entire reading.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just need to say that because people take these things and it's like, but you said, and I'm like, yeah, I said that at that moment, but you must have made a different choice that changed the outcome.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. And I'm honestly so glad, that you came on here and, you know, told us about, you know, your message, even though it's a little bit different than everybody's, but like I love it because everybody needs to be heard, whether you're the same person like your neighbor or you're different and you're just you know like we as people need to be understand we need to understand each other, and we just need to open up to everybody, like,
Yeah. Well, I'm
and
glad you had me on. I'm really excited, and people can call me at my number, which is 956-292-6867. You can text me, call me, you can inbox me, you can even go to my page and make appointments there. And I have an Etsy store where I sell stuff as well.
all right, and would you like to promote any of your other businesses?
Oh, yeah, I also do photography, party photography. I also do DJ and karaoke, so I sing.
She's an amazing
So I am
singer.
available for that. Huh?
She's an amazing singer, everybody.
Oh, thank you. And I also do printing and on anything pretty much. So
Before that, I do want to show. Uh, damn it, where is it? I saw it earlier. Oh, here it is.
I don't want you up there. I told you that already.
I still have this. Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
but yeah,
I
like,
can't see if you got the screen on there.
oh, there you go.
Oh,
It's the Acosta shirt you made a few years.
yes, I remember.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lady Isis, for being here. Check her out, everybody. She's an amazing person and she's an amazing singer. And her merchandise that she sells at her business is really good. And, I've had that t shirt for a long time and it's still in really good quality. So, uh, and I have other shirts from other bands that she's worked with, and they're still in great condition. So check her out, and remember, everybody, that without music, life would be a mistake.